Good evening, everyone. Thank you all. My name is Michael Smith. I am Director of Operations for the Ritenour School District. I want to thank you for attending the official grand opening of our new cafeteria space. We're very proud of this space and the work that has gone into it. As you can see in this space, there's been a lot of upgrades. We do have a lot of natural light. You'll see a lot of natural light that comes into the space, brightens it up. You'll also notice the different seating that we have for students, whether it's tables or booths, countertops, various different seating for students so they can enjoy their lunch experience. And also, we want to point out the graphics around the room, a lot of student input on the graphics that you see around the space as well. You'll also see that we've added 3 new classroom spaces on this level, and we've also added a patio for outdoor seating, can be used for lunches or for outdoor learning. I want to thank you and the community for all the support behind this project. All of this work is part of the Proposition S bond issue, which voters in our community overwhelmingly passed in 2020. Since the summer of 2020, many projects have been completed, including the new fitness center here at Ritenour High School, new entryways at schools for improved safety and security, new and resurfaced parking lots, energy efficient lighting, and upgrades to our lighting throughout the district, much needed brick tuck pointing, replacement of playground pads, and HVAC replacement and upgrades. This is going to be the last official big grand opening that we're going to be having for the Proposition S projects. Now, we are going to be doing some more HVAC work and lighting work. That's just not as exciting for you to see when we open up a new rooftop unit for our schools. So.
I'd enjoy it.
But know that all of the infrastructure, the improvements that have occurred because of Proposition S have been very, very important. They're not the things that you see every day, but they are noticed when it comes to the heating and air conditioning, and with the lighting. The comfort of students obviously is important for teachers to do their job of teaching and students to be learning. After our ribbon cutting ceremony, please be sure to stay, take a look at the amazing space that we've created for the students and for the staff. And now I'd like to introduce Dr. Bruce Green. He's the Ritenour Assistant Superintendent for Secondary Education.
Well, hello everyone. Again, welcome to Ritenour High School and this beautiful space. Doesn't it look amazing? So during the first semester, our students were in the lower part of the auditorium, and that's where breakfast and lunch was. And when they came back from winter break, they had an incredible surprise in store for them. They returned and they had this beautiful, newly renovated space open for them so they can enjoy breakfast as well as lunch. This upgraded space, as Mr. Smith pointed out, is more space for our students and staff. You see the booths, our students, they enjoy using those during lunch. It's very comfortable seating for them, as well as an upgraded kitchen for our child nutrition staff. We're also proud to show our outdoor patio space for our students to enjoy during their lunch period, as well as for some outdoor learning. Also, to improve safety and security, several areas were updated to increase visibility for administrators, so we're definitely appreciative for that. So there are some areas that we couldn't see around before. Now we're able to see around and see what's going on to support, our students as well as the adults that are in the space. I do want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of those that played a role in making this dream a reality. And as you all know, there's meetings on top of meetings, there's planning, and there's a lot of planning and effort that went into this. So your support and belief in our students have laid the foundation for a brighter future for our entire school community. And as I always say, It's a great day to be a Husky. This space is a true testament to what we can achieve when a community comes together to invest in the future of its students. So at this time, I would like to turn the microphone over to our superintendent of schools, Dr. Chris Kilbride, to share a few remarks.
Well, thank you, Dr. Green. Thanks to everybody for being here this evening. Let me start by sharing it's a complete honor to serve you and to serve this community, a community that is dedicated to the success of every student every day. I want to start with some special thanks to those staff members that worked on this space every day over the course of really about the last year and a half. I'd like to start by sharing special thanks with our Director of Operations, Mr. Michael Smith. Mike started us off here tonight. Let's give him a round of applause. When you're not at work, you're thinking about work, and that absolutely applies to Michael Smith. Mike, thank you for all you've done to make this space a reality tonight. We'd like to recognize Dwight Lindhorst. Dwight Lindhorst is our Chief Financial Officer, supervises the Operations Department. Dwight, thanks for all your work. Would like to thank all of our architects, engineers, vendors, and contractor partners. We'll be calling you out shortly one by one to share our thanks for all of their tireless work, for their flexibility to make this amazing space, and actually these spaces, a reality for our students. Now, none of this is possible without the Board of Education, so I'm going to call out our board members. When I call out your name, share a word of thanks if you would please. Come on up behind the ribbon to get ready for the ribbon cutting that we'll be doing here shortly. Would like to start by recognizing the President of the Ritenour Board of Education, Ms. Lisa Glover-Jones. Our Vice President, Dr. Brad Thomas. Director, Dr. Stacy Alden Wilson. Director, Rob Eaton. And Director, Jennifer Lonis. Board members Penny DeGarden, Vanessa Enriquez Pimblott, and our student representative, Ms. Hope Oath, could not be here with us this evening. None of this work is possible without the governance and leadership of the Board of Education, a team of 7 that are elected to serve by the citizens here in the community. Now, we have a number of other people that have been dedicated to this project from the beginning, whether it be passage of Prop S, or our architects, contractors, so on, that did the heavy lift to make this possible. When I call out your name, if you'd please come on up, come to either side of the Board of Education behind the ribbon and get ready for the ribbon cutting. I'd like to recognize Mr. Jerry Nolan, the President of the Citizens for Ritenour's Future Committee. Michelle Clover, the Treasurer of the Citizens for Ritenour's Future Committee. Ms. Leah Mosley of the Citizens for Ritenour's Future Committee. Mr. Ken Crowder of the committee. We're also joined by Mr. Mark Giroux of the Overland Business Association. We're joined by our architects from Kuba and Noob Associates, Mr. Doug Kuba. Doug, come on up. We have 2 members of Doug's team, Mr. Merlin Johnston and Mr. Boyce Canup. Please come on up. None of this work would be possible also without our community partners. We're joined this evening by Mayor of St. John, Mr. Tom Halaska, and Mary Halaska, member of the St. John City Council. Come on up, please. think everybody's going to have to get a little bit closer. We don't have a lens that's that wide. So
I'm gonna stand here and everybody gets right. That's what I'm gonna do.
from our contractor partners, Mr. TJ Valenza, project manager for Wachter. Thanks for being here. We're joined by former board member, Mr. Dr. George Albin. George, thank you for being here with us this evening. George is welcome to come up to be a part of the ribbon cutting if he wishes.
He wants to go.
And we're also joined from the County Executive's Office, Ms. Desiree Whitlock. Ms. Whitlock, would you please join us for the ribbon cutting as well? For many years, this space was one of my least favorite places in our schools in the district. The cafeteria is the home base of a high school, and this space wasn't as inviting as it could be for students. We attempt to create spaces that are respectful of students, and this cafeteria was less than our best. Students internalize that message, and as a result, may end up putting forth less than their best as well. The vision of the redesigned space is to generate a feeling of pride, that being school pride, community pride, and most importantly, for students to internalize a feeling of pride in themselves, that they're worthy of the community investment in them. And I think this space shows that the community is highly invested in student success. Similar to the new fitness center at the high school, it's impossible to find a nicer high school cafeteria in the region now than what we have. Just 500 feet west of here, we've got one of the nicest school auditoriums in the region. And then just a half mile north of here, we've got one of the best early childhood centers that's now tuition free for students in this community. That's an example of a community coming together, investing in its children. And we know that these investments are going to result in improved academic and life outcomes for our current students who choose to make a home, and hopefully for our students that choose to make a life here in this community beyond high school, for their children, for their grandchildren, and for generations to come. I'd now like to invite the following members of the food service team to join the group. They're going to play a critical role, as are our Ritenour students that are here with us tonight in the ribbon cutting. The members of our food service team work tirelessly in this space every day to make sure that every student gets what they need. We are a district that participates in a program that provides no-cost food for every student every day. And it's under the leadership of these two people that all that work happens. I'd like to recognize our Director of Food Service, Ms. Dina Hill. Dina, if you join the group. Dina does this great work, working closely with our nutritionist, Ms. Brittany Scott. That work is carried out by the members of the child nutrition staff. Would the members of the child nutrition staff please come up and join us as well? You know, we work to be an inclusive district, and I think we're going to have a challenge tonight. I think we're going to do this ribbon cutting, and I think all these people are going to be cutting a ribbon for nobody else in the audience. Because I'm going to be, thank you, we're going to be presenting for two people, because we've got a couple of members of the district leadership team that I'm going to call out for their work as well. So we've recognized two people for their great efforts, our Director of Operations, Mr. Michael Smith, and our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Dwight Lindenhorst. Mike, Dwight, if you'd please join the group as well. You've met Dr. Green, our Assistant Superintendent for Secondary Education. His day-to-day responsibility is to run Ritenour High School to provide leadership for the students and staff. You've met our board members. Shortly, we'll be introducing our students that are going to be involved in the ribbon cutting. We're joined by members of the district leadership team as well. Members of the district leadership team, if you would please give a wave where you are so that if people don't know who you are, they can connect a name with a face. We're joined by our Human Resources, Coordinator of Human Resources, Mr. Charles Love. Charles, thank you for being here. We're joined by our Assistant Superintendent for Student Services, Ms. Julie Hahn. We're joined by our Director of IT, Dr. Fred Harlan. In the back of the room, we have our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, Dr. Deneen Stewart. And we're joined by our Director of Professional Development, Ms. Evelyn Gilliam. A couple of other staff members that are here with us as well. We've got our Director of Community Services, Mr. Doug Bray, that organized this event. Joined by Margarita Gunther, who works in Doug's Department of Community Services. Margarita, thanks for all your work to make this possible. And we're joined by our high school athletic director, Mr. Drew Lomas. Drew, thank you for being here. Before we introduce our students, they're going to be playing a critical role in this work. There's another special person that's here with us tonight. I'd like to recognize him. That's my dad. So John Kilbride. John, Dad, thank you for being here tonight. My dad volunteers on a regular basis at the Co-Care Food Pantry. We've got a number of volunteers here at the pantry. Thanks to all of you for all that you do. So we've got a number of Ritenour School District students that are here with us tonight. Can you make your way to the front, please?
That means you, kiddos.
Come on up, please. Come up to the mic and we'll have you introduce yourselves.
There's a bunch of people in the background. They're not moving. Oh, no, you're good. I didn't know. I wasn't sure either.
Okay. How are you? Thank you for being here. So we're going to stand right over here so that we can see both groups. So we've got a bigger group behind the ribbon. We've got a smaller group in the audience. Could you